A special report from NBC News.
10, 9, ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, it looks good, Wally.
Somebody must be leaving town.
Building shaking. We're getting that buffeting we've become used to. What a moment. Man on the way to the moon.
Eagle, Houston, we see you on the steerable, over. Roger, Eagle, I'm done. Roger. Okay, all flight controllers, gonna go for landing. Retro. Go. Fido. Go. Guidance. Go. Control. Go. Telcom. Go. GNC. Go. Ecom. Go. Surgeon. Go. Capcom, we're go for landing.
Altitude 4200.
Houston, you're a go for landing, over. 1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. 1201 alarm. Same type, we're go, flight. Okay, we're go. We're go, same type, we're go. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. Okay, 75 feet. Car's looking good, down a half. Forward. Forward. 40 feet, down 2.5. Picking up some dust. Straight shadow. 4 forward, drifting to the right a little. 30 seconds. Forward, just. Contact light. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
This week on It's Happening Out. We love you too, Caswell. PETA and gators come from gay porn. American Horror Story 1984 brings big dick energy. Trump stands by racist tweets.
I think it's controversial. A lot of people love it, by the way.
It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Special guest host, Andrew Brett. And your host, lifestyle expert, Napoleon Plays. Trans activist, Aaron Phoenix. Reality star, Chef Josie. DJ Diva Power Infiniti. Log Cabin Republican, Joe Brookman. And our host, Al Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Marcy. Well, welcome, America, to another episode of It's Happening Out. And what an amazing week we are in to do the gayest live talk show in America. It's Happening Out. We're very excited that you're tuning in. We have a jam-packed show in one of the most interesting weeks that I have seen in years.
Oh, my God.
And we really welcome you. We first tell you we're coming right from the gayest place on planet Earth, Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is the famous Wilton Drive over my corner. You've got, or my shoulder. You've got to come down here and see it. And we're broadcasting tonight from the fantastic Bubbles and Pearls restaurant.
Can we get a, yeah!
Ever heard of it? Josie, ever heard of it?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time there.
A lot of
I'm
time
getting
there.
to know the place.
Yeah. Along with her wife, Marcy, this is Josie, Chef Josie, the owner of Bubbles and Pearls, and we're thrilled to be here. We also want to thank the Big Coconut Guest House, one of our new sponsors. Aaron, for the first time, is staying there. What's your experience like there?
I totally judged a book by its name. I was expecting some kind of bathhouse fuckery. I don't know what I was walking into. But honestly, it was really, really cute.
Yeah,
Super cute.
very cute. The breakfast, you're going to have the breakfast.
I sleep way too late for breakfast.
You got to wake up before 4 p.m. to enjoy the breakfast. But we really thank our partners at the Big Coconut. Now, remember, this is a live show. You're seeing this right now. Like our page. We really need you to share us and start a watch party. Why do we keep saying that? It's Happening Out has officially become the most popular live gay talk show in America. Last week, 486,000 of you watched the show. Thank you so much, and that's because you're sharing our content with your family and friends, and thank you very much. So start a watch party.
Appreciate it.
In fact, Napoleon, my friend here, actually gives you really great instructions on how to do that. Watch this instruction from Napoleon.
When viewing our live show in your app, please click Share. After clicking Share, your screen should change and you can then click Watch Party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click Start Watch Party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
It's as simple as that. That's all you have to do the watch party. Share us. If you like the content you see tonight at America's most popular live gay talk show, share us with your friends. We think they're going to like it too. So like and subscribe to us on YouTube, whatever your favorite channel is. All right, guys, before we get the show started, I asked my friend Napoleon, I've done you a big favor. Last week, we got really hungry because we were in Bubbles and Pearls, and Bubbles or Pearls didn't give us any food. So we were a little hungry. So I went out foraging for some food. And guess what, guys? I was able to find it for you. Watch what Napoleon and I did just a few minutes ago. Watch this.
It's not Alan.
Hey, Napoleon. We have got to get some food for the host as we broadcast It's Happening Out tonight. We're coming from Wilton Manors, the gayest place on planet Earth. And the hosts need food because we're broadcasting at 8 o'clock. And so I brought you to this new restaurant that's open. It's called Almazan Empanadas. Do you like empanadas?
I do like empanadas, and we're here. Let's give it a go.
It smells great, doesn't it? Let me show you what they've got available.
Ooh.
There is all kinds. You're running, Napoleon. You're running. There's all kinds of choices here. Both in terms of savory and dessert. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Hey, Al, how are you doing?
Good seeing you. And what I think we should do, this is my friend Napoleon.
Nice to meet you, Napoleon.
I think what we should do is each host, what do you think, 2 empanadas?
I could go for 7 myself.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's more reasonable, 2. Joe, what we want to do is we want to get 2 empanadas for each host, and you bring them over to the show at 8 o'clock tonight, okay?
How many hosts do we have?
We have 5 hosts, and do a selection for everybody. It'll be great. It's a total surprise, so don't tell anybody. Almazan Empanadas.
I can't wait to try that. It's going to be a blast.
I know Josie likes the guava and cheese.
The guava and cheese, that's right, the dessert one. All right, and the mushroom and brie.
I've got it.
See you, Joe. Thank you.
I'll see you shortly.
All right.
Wow. Woo! Oh my God.
Can y'all say thank you in advance?
Yeah, my neighbors.
Thank you
I love
in
it.
advance. All right. This is
what
Almazan.
community smells like.
That's exactly. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Josie and Marcy at Bubbles and Pearls are not the only kids on the block.
Yeah,
this is the gayest neighborhood in America for a reason. And we have new neighbors here at Bubbles and Pearls called the Almazan Empanadas. And I went in, and I wish, America, you could smell what we're smelling right now. This is a new empanadas restaurant sitting here in the gayest place on planet Earth, and I'm giving all of the hosts the opportunity right at the top of the show with some foods. First off, The empanadas are savory and dessert.
Yep.
Now, I have a little joke, and Napoleon and I knew this. You can do mushroom and brie. That's my favorite. You can do beef, Cuban. You can do all kinds of
it's not
savory.
just beef and chicken anymore. You know,
Now,
they get really creative with their fillings, the pastry. They're making everything in house. You know, it's a very good product. Again, you know that I put my stamp on whatever's good in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
okay? And
yeah.
these guys, I'm wishing them a whole lot of success.
Now, is
Go
it
check out
true? Is
their-
it true in terms of the empanadas? You were kind of famous over there, even though this restaurant's only been open for a month. And the reason you're kind of famous is they also have dessert empanadas, and apparently they can't keep up with the guava and cream cheese necessary to service Chef Josie.
Yeah. You know, listen, I grew up in Hialeah where we eat pastelito de guayaba y queso, and I really missed that combination. And so the fact that they moved in next door and they served my favorite combination, it's like comfort food to me, and it's beautiful. And when I need a little something sweet in the day, you know, to pick me up, I go get a guava.
All right. See, the reason I keep talking about this is because I'm driving all of the people at the table crazy. They have a special that starts at the end of the month. If you come on Sundays and you order 4 empanadas, it's bottomless mimosas.
Oh.
July 28th, I'm going to be there.
I'll see you there.
Right,
All right.
exactly. But no
Send me a
guava.
reminder.
No guava or no Nutella for me.
Okay.
They do fresh deliveries, so that's great for me, so they can deliver to my house, and of course, full catering. So, Almason empanadas, I can't wait to watch Napoleon dig into whichever empanada he's going to dig into.
They smell really
incredible. It's going to be fantastic.
They even went out of their way to get me a salad, so it's gluten-free and I can have some healthy alternatives.
Yeah.
I really love this place.
Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, our friends at...
I'm playing you the tiniest violin
Anytime
in the
a
world.
sponsor will go out of their way and say, here, I hope that you can eat this too. I want you to appreciate my love. Of course I do. It makes me excited.
Right, exactly. So, it's a neighborhood here.
Yeah.
This is if you haven't been to South Florida, when I say this is a neighborhood with 100,000 people in it that are LGBTQ plus. And this entire drive, Wilton Drive, is among the most famous in the world. And we welcome a new neighbor here, Almason Empanadas. We are really loving it. All right. We're going to have this food. When we get into a film break, we're going to eat furiously. So you just get to look at it until we're ready to eat it. Smell it. Right, exactly. All right, let's move on to the top of the show exactly as we normally do, and we start with a meme of the week. This week, we have a good one. We call this the 4 presidents. We've had 4 great presidents, right? Look at them.
At least.
Here it is, our meme of the week. It's an animated meme. The first, I balanced the budget. The second, I crashed the economy.
True.
The third, I fixed it.
Nothing.
And the fourth, Elmer's glue tastes good.
That did not work this week at all.
It's a lovely meme. We love it. Next thing we want to tell you about, we always like to start the show with the best thing of the week. And wow, did we have a great opportunity with best thing of the week this week. Our friend of the show, Caswell, he's watching us right now.
Ooh, what's up?
Caswell just released a new music video called I Love You. And what garnered our attention is the message behind it. It was not only a beautiful message of self-love, but it was also a message of support of one of the important letters in our community. Watch what Caswell has to say and see a little sneak peek of his new music video, I Love You. Watch this.
What's up? This is Caswell, and you are watching It's Happening Out, America's favorite live gay talk show. I'm an out gay artist. I started my career in New York City. I'm rapper, singer, producer, DJ, songwriter, live performer, all that good shit. You might know some of my work, like Ice Cream Truck, Loose Wrists, I seen Beyonce at Burger King, All Over Your Face. I've been doing this for a long time. I have my own independent record label called Snow Cone NYC. My new video I just dropped is called I Love You, and it is a love song with a video, which was new for me. But what really inspired the song was really all about self-love and loving myself and taking care of myself and knowing that I gotta love myself in order for someone else to love me. So that's kind of the state of mind that I was in when I made this song. I've been treating myself really good lately, so I was definitely feeling it at the time. I end the song bringing attention to trans women of color, because I believe that their fight is the gay white man's fight, and I feel like sometimes they're not always on the same page. And I think that gay men with privilege really need to stand up and consistently fight, especially for trans people. Trans women of color are getting murdered at an accelerated rate, and so we need to talk about that and take care of that and protect our trans brothers and sisters. So I really wanted to end on that note. So I'm glad I got to do it. Hope you loved the video. Let me know what you think.
Well, congratulations, Caswell. I love the message behind it. Any quick thoughts about what we saw from Caswell?
I can't wait to see more from him. What more he creates, more from his body, more from his friends. I'm excited.
I've been a fan for a long time, and this just made me like 10 times more of a fan.
Yeah.
Way to actually speak out on some good.
I thought it was interesting that ice cream truck. Of course, we took ice cream truck to Havana
Cuba,
for
yeah.
Pride. It was a hit in Havana.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to
Should've
me
seen
that
it, girl.
when it came out, I know. Maybe never again either. I thought it was interesting because Ice Cream Truck, when it debuted, YouTube said was adult content. Now today it's like, no, I don't think so.
That's like on ABC now, you know?
Well, we talk about it like it was 30 years ago.
Yeah,
it was like 3.
Yeah, exactly right. All right, that is our best thing of the week. Caswell, we love you. Great message, and we applaud you for stepping up for the T community, the trans
Appreciate
community.
it.
Let's move on to celebrity hot topics. Lots of things in the news this week with celebrity. First off, Batwoman. Wait, there was Batgirl. Yes. But no. There has just yesterday been an announcement for Batwoman. And it's really exciting. And I have to tell you, a little spoiler here. Watch closely. We're going to reveal something in the last seconds that's going to excite all of America.
Or if the
Watch
kid's
this.
coming back.
America. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean like she's a lesbian. I mean, she could have been a lesbian. I mean, it kind of looks like she was a lesbian. Is a part of the story. Maybe she like.
You seem like you have personal like
If
feelings
it walks
to work
like
through
a
about
duck
that.
and it talks like a duck.
That's like
it's
college,
a
you know?
duck.
It just like
You
happened in
girls are
college, you know?
Always in a touchy-feely,
No.
kissy-kissy.
It's an
Excited
integral
now.
part to the character. They've already had one episode air last year with a crossover. She's really a gay character. It's a big deal.
It's epic. It's a big deal.
Well, we'll see.
Other big celebrities.
She's super a lesbian in it.
Moving forward,
thought it was a
celebrity,
lesbian
other
once, too.
celebrity hot topics. There was a blackout. Did you hear about it in New York? I thought it was interesting because there was no shootings.
Hey, Napoleon.
No violence in a city
we
of
have got to
millions
get
of people, and it was like, we have a blackout. And in fact, it even got pretty cool. Watch this of what happened on the streets and on Broadway with the Broadway community as the blackout was going on. Watch this.
So much fun.
All right, Mark.
Hey, listen, I've lived in New York during a blackout, and it's the most fun time. I don't know.
You know what I want to compare?
Wait, hold on. Define fun.
Fun is it's exactly that.
Impromptu.
Everyone is in the streets. No one is angry. It's like we're all in it together. I was there during 9/11, the same thing. Everyone makes New York seem like this big tough town.
Yep.
And when shit hits the fan, man, you see the human in all of us just come right to the surface.
People are always willing to help you in New York.
And also, there's always the baby boom. Well, that's what I thought you were going
I
for.
think what would be
All right.
most funny is to see how people in Florida would react. You have an image, and it's like a militia being formed, people breaking in and throwing down the stones right into a first day of a blackout.
That's before the power goes out.
Yeah, before the power
I was
goes out.
trying to set you up
New
for
York,
it.
it's literally kumbaya.
All right, let's other big celebrity hot topics. America, I really believe this. We're getting ready to prove to you the value of It's Happening Out. I am getting ready to talk about a celebrity story of men.com and gay porn and PETA all in one story.
Okay.
We're going to ask Mark
be the first
McNamara to come in from men.com, and we're going to show a video here. From Mark is a director at men.com. You're seeing the video here that's coming. Welcome, Mark McNamara.
Very happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're going to talk over a bit of the, if you'll push up just a little, Mark, we're going to show a little bit of your new new masterpiece called
Thank you.
Everglades Part 1.
Awesome.
That's a great photo of you.
And for
Jeez.
those that don't know, this is a gay adult entertainment feature.
Yes, it is. Very gay, very adult.
Very gay, very adult.
Those are all winning
Well,
things.
that in and of itself is not news, but we're getting ready to prove that this is another example of the gayest place on planet Earth. This was shot about 1 hour west of our broadcast right now in the heart of the Florida Everglades. The adult entertainment film was shot in the Everglades. Now you would think that was fun. Who are the two principal leads in this?
Okay,
one?
so in this scene, it's Diego Sands and Caleb Stryker.
And what was the alligator's name?
I don't. It was a wild alligator.
Gator.
It was not tamed. It was not corralled. It was just it walked through the set.
You didn't ask his pronouns or anything like
No,
that.
All right.
no IDs, no permit.
You didn't
Are we
have an
giving
agent?
it a name then?
Say that
He
again.
didn't have an agent?
He did not.
Hey,
have an
I'm
agent.
sure. I'm
He
sure.
should be in a
Wait,
lubricant commercial next.
Wait, you got to give me the opportunity to set the story up first. The reason Mark is here is, while I'm a very big fan of men.com and Mark McNamara's product.
Oh, so you were the alligator crossing by in the video.
His new
Normally,
costume.
He is here to tell his side of the story.
Right, Mark's here to tell his side of the story because there was a big backlash to this film. Everglades Part 1, and by the way, there's Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3,
Yes.
had a big backlash against from PETA. And PETA is the Animal Protection Organization, and they basically tweeted and posted that this was terrible of what happened to the wildlife, especially the alligator that walked through the set. And we wanted to give Mark the opportunity to tell us about what is PETA talking about.
Yeah.
PETA is just looking for attention. They are
Always.
taking out the facts and putting in whatever story will get their name in the press. They're saying that we corralled it, we used it as props, that we used big lighting to confuse it. None of these things were true. We worked actually with a conservationist before we even got to the Everglades to learn about the animals, to learn about their habitat, to learn about their migration, what they eat, so we could respect the wildlife. We didn't know that we were going to run into them. When you film outside, you don't know what type of animals are going to, there was a dragonfly. No one's complaining about the dragonfly coming into the set. And we made sure that no one was naked in the same shot as an animal.
Wait, you consciously made
Oh,
that
absolutely,
decision?
absolutely.
Oh,
I don't. You don't want to run the line with bestiality. You don't want to get him excited. You don't want to. You have to be careful about what you do. And so
Don't tell me, guys, with your little Yorkies in your king-size beds when you're getting it on, the Yorkies not hanging out at the bottom of your bed. Come on. Come on.
I'm uncomfortable with this image.
But yeah, no, so
whatever.
The animals were not in the same shots as anybody naked.
I didn't even
but we
realize
all
that was a thing.
I mean, it's a rule with men.com. Like, you can't have anybody in the shot who's not an actor, who's not of age, with their IDs, and especially animals as well. But But not only that, we wanted to make sure that we were respecting their.
And just play with this thing
touch
near
me.
your mouth.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
A little
Okay.
closer. I'm close.
There you go.
We wanted to make sure that we respected not only the animals but their habitat as well. That we didn't leave any footprints. We didn't leave any negative impacts on what their natural home is. So we worked closely with, like I said, conservationists and
No
Native
condoms.
Americans who are from the area. They gave us a tour
Oh,
of.
now I'm curious. Was it? Do you by chance know? Do you remember? Was it Miccosukee or Seminole? Do you know which Native American?
I wish I knew.
Yeah, it would
I
be
can't
one or the
remember.
other. Probably Miccosukee.
It probably was because it was further
and
south.
Houston Cypress, we shout out to you. If we would have had a little more time, we would have had you as a host tonight on the show to be able to talk about this. Mark, I'm curious in terms of this issue. How long have you been in gay adult entertainment?
Over a decade,
A
directing.
decade. Did
Yeah.
you ever wake up one morning and go, my adult entertainment directing career is going to be affected by an animal rights organization?
No. I mean, because me, myself, I'm a very big animal activist. I have 3 rescue animals, 2 dogs, a ferret, and I, support the ASPCA every month. And the fact, this is why I'm here to kind of defend myself, because to attack something that it's just simply not true. They're just seeking headlines. PETA themselves have proven to be quite dishonest in their approach. They've killed over 36,000 animals since 1998. They go and they rescue animals for headlines, and then they euthanize them. So look into it. There's a lot of better organizations to support other than PETA.
That's called T.
That was
T. I mean, because it's a shame, because their message and a lot of what they stand for is super important, and we should stand for it. But their tactics and their rules of engagement need to change.
Yeah.
Their leadership need to change.
It's terrorism. The way
It
that
is
because
terrorism,
they,
and
they
it's not
want you-
true.
You have the same side opinion as them sometimes. I know
Right.
that we were both vegetarian for a while, but then they send you this propaganda that makes you hateful of what they want you to sign on for.
Exactly.
One last question that I have, which fascinates me, is has to do with the performers. When they were performing outdoors like
course it
that
does.
in the Everglades,
Yes.
and it's a
Let's get
national
to the
park,
juicy stuff.
and the tribal lands. Did they have any trouble, without getting too technical, did they have any trouble in
let's get
terms of the
technical.
public nature of being in the Everglades and an alligator is passing by? And
I think because we learned so much about them before we went into it, the alligators were not so much an issue. The bugs were an issue.
Ew.
I was covered in bites for a month after
my God.
filming.
And those are like real
It was just like
mosquitoes.
They'll carry
flesh-eating
you off.
pterodactyls. That was the roughest part.
So Al's real question then. So everybody
Yes.
ended up with bug bites on their dick and almost an alligator on it as well. Is that what
Yes.
happened?
The things we do to jerk off.
Well,
Okay, it's an extreme
I just
porn.
want to say thank you for not using the sheep.
yeah.
A sheep?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
next time.
He's talking about his Republican Party.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, again, America, we wanted Mark to have the opportunity to come on the show and talk about this big news. Men.com is the biggest a gay adult production company in the world, and we're really happy that Mark could come on because the story fascinated us. PETA really turned this into a national and international headline, and we wanted to give you
And the movie
heads
had
up.
5 stars.
So.
You're holding up 10 fingers, though.
The Republican has already completely reviewed your entire product line.
You know what I had to say about that? Whenever there is a Republican convention, our numbers at the gay porn site go through the roof. So thank you.
And let me tell you something.
Oh my God.
Since the 4 weeks I've
We
been
appreciate
here,
it.
I've turned everybody from blue water to red water.
Oh yeah, it's a thing. All right, so we want to thank Mark McNamara. Mark, you stay with us a moment, but thank you very much, Director of Everglades Part 1, 2, and 3 for Men.com. Thank you very much, Mark, for being here. In celebrity headlines, we're going to move on to another big topic, and that is Waka Flocka. And that is the rap star. He posted something this week, and this, I'll give you fair warning, this is very disturbing. I give you fair warning in terms of
so
Waka
cute,
Flocka's
too,
statements
Like,
and his homophobic comments about the community. Watch this.
I don't know who Buddy was in the airport. I understand y'all folk got y'all money and all that. But look, I got nothing against nobody's sexual preference. Nothing, but look, I ain't with that. So don't approach me, don't be having too many compliments and doing all the extra shit, because it's disrespectful and it's out of pocket for you to I'm with your local.
He with the local shooter, and I'ma shoot you. I steal a nigga's soul from him like I was a booster.
He didn't even look that old. It's that simple.
All right, well, you can see, quite shocking. I'll shoot your gay ass. And a lot of messages there. Just real quickly, because I don't want to give this too much attention. What do y'all think? Any quick thoughts?
You know, what a waste of such a cute, handsome guy, you know? I mean, that's all I have to say. It's what a waste. It's such an ignorant, closed-minded, stupid conversation. And if you, just so you know this, when you shoot someone, you'll end up in jail. So go for it.
That's why it's sad.
Promotes hate and violence. Continue it.
There's no win to this. Okay, so you can condemn him for having those thoughts. You can blame him if you see him in person, or he could follow through with that and commit a crime. Every way you look at this, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Why you want to present that is just a way to create anger.
The one thing that I have to say above everything else, it is an overt, when somebody says, I'm not a racist, it's okay, or, oops, sorry, I used that word, it's okay of your lifestyle. However, then goes on and contradicts that observation, which he does.
Yeah,
you
they're
have your own
inauthentic.
month, and don't even look at me funny, or I'll shoot you. You know, you got a serious personality issue
Because
there. And that's what Waka
the real
Flocka
question
is.
to anybody is, if somebody said this and it applied to you, how would you feel? Would you be scared?
exactly.
How would you react?
Right.
And that's true of anyone. not
Okay,
just gay
other
community.
celebrity hot topics in the news. American Horror Story, 1984. It came out this week in terms of the announcement. And literally, I mean, it came out this week.
Yum.
I was shocked because as I watched the cast preview, the cast teaser, shall I say
Yeah,
it?
teaser.
The guy in it that brought everyone to a stop, I did not realize when I looked at it, it's Matthew Morrison. It's Mr. Schuster from Glee. And I realized after watching it about 74 times that the reason I didn't know it was Mr. Schuster, Matthew Morrison from Glee, is I was stigmatized. Plain and simple. Watch this.
American Horror Story Season 9 camera test. Rolling.
I've watched every season of American Horror Story.
Me too.
Amazing, amazing. Coven's still my favorite. Any thoughts about what we just saw?
It's because Coven is the best. But it's interesting to me because if that had happened on Gus Kenworthy, the whole like penis thing, it would have been seen as pornographic. But because it's on Matthew Morrison, Mr. Schuster, it's quasi-sexual, but it's not over the top. Based on who it's on.
It was very hot.
If it were okay, how would you be reacting?
That thing was turning the corner by itself.
How would you be reacting if you saw Gus Kenworthy like it? Because I thought I was going to go into this and see Gus Kenworthy, and then I was going to watch his dick just like flamboy back and forth, like, oh, hello, over here, over down there, do its thing. Wouldn't you have been more excited?
I'm just letting you have this one.
I would have been like rock hard if I saw that.
Can we just agree? Let's not say anything else. We'll just leave Napoleon to his thoughts.
Oh my God! If
Let's
they're being
move on.
Gus, please leave me to those.
Other celebrity hot topics. Our last one this week that we want to bring to your attention is Taylor Swift. You saw in the news that she lost her rights to her music. We have this slide that we're telling you. Scooter Brown took control for $300 million, buying the music label, and she lost it all. I know everyone in America is sad for Taylor because last year she was only the #1 entertainer in the world, only making $184 million. So I'm really sad for her. But any thoughts about the pop princess?
I mean, you know, Michael Jackson's estate went through this. Prince had to change his name to, go through this.
nothing.
You remember Napster, there was I mean, Listen, this is an ongoing problem in the music industry. I don't know if they've reformed the system yet, but artists are getting ripped off left and right. They haven't figured out a way.
Are evil? What?
Yeah, they just haven't figured out a way to pay people, and make it a win-win. So,
but what is this?
They just have bad managers and attorneys. That's the bottom line.
Read your contract. I hope you learned your lesson.
Right. Exactly. I think this has nothing to do with LGBTQ culture, quite frankly. Okay, somebody has a problem with her record label.
We're talking about celebrity hot topics, which does not necessarily have to be LGBT.
And she just made that new song for us and everything.
Exactly.
Come on.
Right.
Don't be a hater. Go out for the rainbow dollar.
Right.
She wanted it.
Come on. We don't go to the concert.
America, I want to remind you, we keep telling you, like us. We especially want you to share us. Start a watch party.
Yeah.
Let other friends and family in your circles see what the gay content is that's going on. It's happening out.
That is Wednesday
Let's move
night.
out. Exactly. Let's move out of celebrity hot topics into headlines. Boy, lots of big news this week.
Whoa.
First off, Erin Burnett proved why Trump hates CNN. Watch Erin Burnett's piece that she did on CNN on stock photos supporting the Trump campaign. Watch this.
This Trump ad features Tracy from Florida walking the beach, praising the president.
I could not ask for a better president of the United States of America.
And he couldn't ask for a better testimonial, unless it was from a real supporter, because Tracy from Florida is just a model from iStock Photo. But surely Thomas from Washington offering Trump religious support is the real thing.
In our prayers?
Nope, not a prayer that he's real. Just a bearded and tattooed hipster type from iStock. And AJ from Texas?
President Trump, although I'm a lifelong Democrat.
He's another model from iStock Photo, available for a modest licensing fee of $170. All this was first reported by the website Popular Info. Now there is an itty-bitty disclaimer, but you better have your trusty magnifying glass handy. Don't blink, it's coming. What you missed says actual testimonial, actor portrayal. And the beach that Tracy from Florida is walking on is actually the Mediterranean Sea. Better check Tracy's birth certificate.
We at the table are not even going to comment on it, other
It
than
is
it's
fake
interesting.
news, and their CNN polls are in the gutter, and they'll do anything that they can to bash the president.
All right. Moving on in other headlines. The Labor Secretary Acosta resigns this week. We have a couple of things to show you. Alex Acosta resigns because of the Jeffrey Epstein plea deal scandal, and he has resigned. Second slide that we want to show that brings this to the news. Why is it important? Now we're to 49 principal key administrative officials have either been fired or left the administration in the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years. Look at this, these faces.
Wow.
This is more than President Obama and President Bush's both terms, more than in first 2.5 years.
How do you have this many cabinet members shit canned? More than we've had presidents since our history. Like, come on.
You know, what this president is a businessman. If you're not doing the job, you're fired. Josie, how many people have you turned over in the last, since you've been
Not a
open?
lot.
That
Not
have not been
Not a lot.
But it's the same
Anything
thing.
else?
Yeah, this is a good time to mention that the 1 year anniversary.
That's what I'm really proud of.
Hey, proud of our 1 year anniversary. That's right, because we're about to hit it in just 2 months.
All right.
It could be fun to do a memorandum of all the people
All
that
right.
have been thrown out of office
Yeah,
in the
since
1 year
September
time frame.
18th. That's an
It'll go on for like
interesting
2
thought.
months.
No, I'm going to move on. Other headlines in the news. Sorry. Other headlines in the news. We wanted to do something for the news about Apollo 11. We led the top of the show. We hoped you liked the little video package. By the way, let me do a shout out. One more time, I do this frequently. You turn someplace in America and see the slide and video production value in the gay community, and I would put It's Happening Out against anything in America. And that's our production staff.
Good job, production
and I
team.
congratulate all of them for what they're doing. This week is the anniversary. Yesterday, the Apollo 11 at 9:35 a.m. took off, only about 3 hours from here in Florida. Today, the ship would be traveling to the moon, and on Friday, it will land on the moon 50 years from now. But we wanted to include the LGBT community. Did you know a pride flag went to space? It did. And in honor of saluting Apollo 11, we show you what our community did in space. Watch this. Well, it's certainly an amazing video and very topical this week as we salute Apollo 11 and its 50th anniversary. Any thoughts about the pride flag in space?
Cute. We're reaching the stars. Our community is in the stars.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think it's a little crazy that we still have to say things like "there's nothing wrong with you," just to gay people. But at the same time, here we are. It's the world we're living in.
Yeah, it's the world we live in.
And then we're also doing with Space Force that the president has provided billions of dollars for us to go to Mars. So that was the beginning. And he's created a whole nother program with his administration to get us to Mars. And that's a huge accomplishment.
Okay. All right. Next headline in the news, we're going to talk about, speaking of money, how topical.
That's hilarious.
Mnuchin, our Treasury Secretary, said we're getting ready to run out of money.
Yeah.
And unless he can find agreement with House Speaker Pelosi on raising the debt ceiling, we are going to run out of money. It's interesting in terms of this report that we put in front of you with the big news this week about that. We have a national looming crisis in terms of our money and our money needs because we're running out of money. And we did the biggest tax cut in history. That 93% of the money affected 7% of all Americans. Any quick thoughts about our budget?
Yes. If Nancy Pelosi would come to the table instead of doing impeachment and wasting millions of dollars for frivolous bullshit stuff for the last 2 years and come to the table and work, she won't, because she does not want to give President Trump any credit or anything to make his presidency a wonderful presidency that it's been, and she will continue to put up the fight.
Nancy Pelosi is getting a lot of crap from her party, the one that she's leading, because she will not bring up and start the impeachment process. To say that is completely fake news.
That is totally incorrect.
So when we're talking about a budget, guys, listen, that's why we're in bed with all of these countries, and that's why it's important for our country to have great relations with our allies. Because guess who bails us out when we hit that debt ceiling? It's other countries. So who are we in bed with right now, and who is Donald Trump going to get that money from?
I will tell you who's in bed with the Democrats is George Soros, who's providing all of this.
We're not.
Soros
We're in bed without,
is not going to bail us out.
We're in bed with other companies, Russia,
With all
Israel.
due respect, Soros's money has to do with the political implementation of an election, not the value in terms of U.S. Treasury and where we are in debt ceilings. Other headlines in the news moving forward: Johnson & Johnson, of course, our bath shower and our powder. They have
Baby
announced
shampoo.
that they're
What?
beginning a
Do you know
very
how showering
spectacular.
works? Ow.
We are going to launch Johnson & Johnson, a big HIV vaccine. And they're in studies significant in the United States and in Europe and Africa. When you heard the news about this week on this study and the vaccine study that they're doing, what did you think? Big news on AIDS.
I hate to
and
say
HIV.
it, but I feel like I don't believe it until I see it. I feel like there's been a lot of times over my short lifetime when they've said, we've got the cure, we've got the cure, we've got the cure, and then it turns out to be nothing. So I almost feel like I'm holding out hope that we're going to see some actual concrete,
And it's not just that. With Johnson & Johnson specifically, they were just given a lot of crossfire because of the opioid epidemic and them being stigmatized with them in some way and their involvement with the opioid epidemic.
Help me understand what that has to do with their HIV vaccine.
They're all over the news with having contributed and making worse the opioid problem in America. So now they want to be in the news and say, oh, okay, so we're helping find the cure to HIV. Look at all that we're doing. That's great. It's just a way of pushing us to look at something else.
Well,
rather
wait,
than the harm
this
they just
isn't
did.
research, though. They've actually got
They
a
have
vaccine
a
that they're
vaccine
testing.
they're not
Yeah.
announcing that they're pursuing it.
Yeah,
they have started the trials for a vaccine.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
I think it's a big difference.
But that is what's announced. That's what we're discussing.
To go back to what Power said last week, we've been through a lot. We've been through the AZT, the cocktails and everything. Here we are, and there is light at the tunnel. So,
Please,
mazel
God,
tov.
if you believe in God, please, God, I hope that this is successful.
Oh, yeah.
A vaccine for AIDS is probably one of the great achievements in the history of my life.
Next to polio.
Okay.
yeah, that's how old
they're
you guys
both
are.
great. They're both great. They don't have to be one or the other. Nothing has to be one or the other. I celebrate what Johnson & Johnson is doing. I'm moving on. Other headlines in the news. PrEP, in a similar vein. the manufacturers of PrEP announced this week that the prescription use of PrEP has increased 500% in 3 years. In fact, it is one of the largest growth prescriptions in history. And now 1 out of every 3 gay Americans are in protection of PrEP. What do you think about the big news in terms of the endorsement and acceptance of PrEP?
It really scares me. When I'm meeting a new guy and we're determining if we're going to hook up, one of the things he says when I say, are you STI free? Do you have any STDs? He's like, oh, no, I'm on PrEP. We're good. I'm like, honey, that is not a way of knowing that you're not without any kind of disease. You could possibly have something and not know it just because you're on PrEP. It's not a be-all, end-all.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it also shows a responsible increase, with gays are being, meaning that gays are being, they're still being smart and promiscuous. So, I mean, listen, life is for living. Go live it and protect yourself and be smart. And in addition to what, Napoleon's saying, understand that you could be ill or have a sickness with many different sicknesses, STDs. There's a lot of them, okay?
Herpes.
So get educated. Know what's going on down there.
Herpes.
Other news in the headlines this week is, have you heard or have you been under a rock the last 2 days? Amazon created Prime Days, Amazon Prime Days. It really stunned me because apparently the numbers are about $6 billion in sales in the last 2 days. Should a corporation have that ability and strength? And more importantly to me, do gays shop this way? Does the Amazon Prime Days have any effect on us at all?
Did you just say we get to debate the viability of capitalism? Is that what I heard?
I was just going to say it's called capitalism.
Yeah, okay. Well, if y'all don't like my America, you can go back to wherever it is you came from.
And fix the problem, then come back.
But he's not like Trump.
But to my point, do gays shop via Amazon? Is Amazon a big deal
Everybody
for us?
does.
I've never done it
All
ever.
people do or don't. I mean, it has nothing to do with being gay.
I mean, Prime Day was like the only day last week I didn't buy something off of Amazon, to be honest. So I just, listen, I don't like people. I like when they bring things to my house. It's a little creepy. They'll text you, be like, we're in your apartment right now, leaving you a package. It's a little much.
To your point, do you think most gay people embrace the online shopping experience?
Yeah.
Most do?
Yeah, discretion is awesome. I mean, I love that I can order myself a new penis, and it's like, it comes in the mail.
Everything about that.
My dick in a box just comes to my doorstep.
Please,
like,
don't talk over a soundbite. There it is.
What a
Okay.
time to be alive.
All
I
right.
just do that on Grindr.
Okay. All right. Final. No, not quite final. Also in headlines, a Stonewall update. We've just come through the Stonewall celebrations in New York, and we regrettably report that both prior to Stonewall and after the Stonewall parade, there is gay flag burning going on in Harlem. The Alibi Gay Bar has had 2 flags burned, one last week in New York City. Caught the individual that burned the flag last week, and we're going to show you a little news about that. Watch this.
Just spoke to the owner, calling this what he said was a heinous attack, really left speechless. It was about 12:20 to 12:45. He says staff members inside of his lounge here saw somebody banging on the door, and when they ran outside, they found, again, another pride flag burning. This is the remnants here. Show you some video from this morning as detectives were back out here on the scene in Harlem, canvassing the area, trying to look for clues and talk to people to see if they saw anything in the middle of the night last night. Of course, all of this comes, you mentioned this flag donated after a similar incident happened 5 weeks ago. This owner is frustrated, and he says that he really cannot believe this happened again. Governor Cuomo has directed the state police's hate crimes task force to assist in this investigation, saying, quote, I am appalled by the burning of yet another pride flag outside of an LGBTQ bar in Harlem. This act of hate is repugnant to our values of equality and inclusion. We will not continue to allow these cowardly acts to continue in New York.
Well, it is 2019, and we still have a long way to go, as Power reminds us frequently. Any thoughts about flag burning, the rainbow flag burning?
Shocker. I mean, at least it wasn't people. You know?
And you know what's strange is we're not talking about Montgomery, Alabama. We're talking about New York
Yeah.
City, where the Stonewall World Pride Parade took place.
Yeah, well, I mean, bigotry and hate is everywhere. Discrimination is everywhere. Don't get complacent. Just because we've got our month to celebrate with Bank of America does not mean that on July 1st, everything is all of a sudden, excuse the expression, but unicorns and rainbows. We got to stay vigilant.
It's
You
just
know.
as bad as burning the American flag as the gay flag. End of story.
You know, actually, allow me to disagree with that observation. I believe in free speech, and that a free speech experience could be to burn the American flag.
That's not free speech, that's hate.
Okay, well, all right. At least let's respect the observation that you're making and my observation. I can love America. I would not do that. I've never burned a flag in my life. But I can see someone burning an American flag and it be a political statement of support patriotically for America. I don't
There's
think
nothing
that's
patriotic about burning the
what I'd
American
like to
flag.
add to this
and it's
is
very
this.
angry and disrespectful to burn the
See,
gay flag.
There's a distinction
I'm
right
sorry.
now.
No,
Hold
there's not
on.
a distinction.
No. I'm
It's
going to call
violence
you
on
back on
violence.
this. This is a common Republican trick.
There's no trickery.
You're going to talk over me, or do I get to finish my point?
But I will not.
Are you going to talk over me, or do I get to finish my point?
Go ahead.
Here's the point that I'm making. If you burn an American flag, you can, even if you disagree with it, make a political statement. And
You're
still,
un-American.
You're going to talk over me.
I am, because
you're going
it's
to continue
un-American
to do
to
what
burn
you
the American
constantly
flag.
do.
Okay,
and
boys.
That is
Where's
it,
my
is to
little-
burn the
See,
gay flag.
Andrew, that's what you do. There's the Republican trick also.
It's not a
Please
trick.
Don't do that. I would like you not to speak until I finish my point, if possible.
Yikes.
You can burn an American flag and it be a political statement, even if you disagree with it. I respect your disagreement with it. It can be a political statement. It is they do not equate. Burning the American flag as a political statement and this story of burning the rainbow flag, I don't say they don't equate because I'm gay. I am saying it is specifically designed to be a hate crime. They are two different things.
They are
and
not.
the issue with Republicans is that they are so flatly dumb and two-dimensional,
I
they
am
can't
not dumb,
figure
and I
it
take
out.
offense to that. Do not call me dumb.
I meant it offensively.
Okay,
And,
so
you know-
while you guys are offending each other, let's just make something very clear, okay? If you go out and buy a flag, burn it, tear it up, do whatever the hell you want with the flag you buy. The symbolism behind either one of those flags is irrelevant even to this conversation,
Yes.
okay? And it doesn't take away our patriotism.
That's
It doesn't take away our gayness. Now, if you go to the Alibi and you take down their flag, that belongs to the Alibi. So that's called vandalism, okay? And that is against the law.
And I agree
Period.
with that, Joe. That wasn't disagreeing with you whatsoever.
All right.
I say they were very,
Well put,
very
Josie.
parallel, and they're both discriminatory
20
and they're
seconds.
horrible.
20 more seconds, and we'll move on. Anything else?
To the next.
Okay, I guess we... Oh, dear. Our final headline in the news is
God.
about Trump's racism.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Yikes.
Wait, let's fist bump and say, restart. All right.
We all
'Cause-
love each other.
Because I
Yeah.
value your opinion. I do.
Are you kidding me? We're
All right.
okay.
First,
One of the few Republicans I can actually have a conversation
I
with.
don't know if you heard, but Trump tweeted over the weekend and for the last couple of days. We're showing you first a slide about his tweets. The tweets were, okay? And there's reaction all over the world from many, many different places. Second slide that we show you is about the Democratic response, and especially what I call the girls. They're the girls. There are 4 women of color basically have stood up to the president, and they've gotten a tremendous amount of support and a lack of vocal support for them. Both things are going on. Very few voices are supporting the president in the party. There are many dramatic voices against him. Let's summarize what the president has said, and this is the breaking news of the press conference he has had about talking about what he said. Watch this video. All right. Well, you see his comments. What do y'all think? Let's talk about
Par
it.
for the course. I don't understand. Like, we've had proof that he's a racist for like a while now, and we're just the fact that we're hearing people like, oh my God, did you hear the president? He said something racist. Like, okay, Mary, catch up with the rest of us.
I agree with that fully. I think you have to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, what makes somebody a racist? 2, did Trump do that action? And 3, is Trump then a racist for committing that action that makes anybody else a racist? Because if the answer is yes, yes, no, then there's something about how you feel that is not adding up. He's been a racist for a very long time, or at least has projected to be one.
And listen, we're also at a place right now where common sense is not so common anymore. And if we're having a conversation whether or not he's racist or not, you just ask yourself, would you teach your child to speak like this or to act like the president of the United States, Donald Trump?
Unfortunately,
That's an interesting thought process, though. What would you allow your children to take from Donald Trump as a good thing? What are his good qualities to give to your children?
Okay, there was nothing racist that he said whatsoever. The fraud squad has as much credibility as the fraud of Milli Vanilli with what they're talking about. They are the racists. They're the ones who are anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, and as a Jew, I'm surprised that you are not up bashing Omar for being so anti and being supporting Sharia law for murdering gays.
Wow.
And
Andrew.
no, it's not wow.
Yeah, no, it's very wow.
And you know,
Andrew.
everybody is a racist if you do not agree with the Democrats.
Help us
if
understand.
If you disagree with the Democrat, you're automatically a racist.
And I disagree with Democrats.
I'm
all
going
the
to
time,
raise my
so.
hand. Help us understand. Your soundbite is the president's tweets and comments are not racist.
They're not.
Okay. We hear and understand your point. Explain to us why saying to people that were born in Detroit or Cleveland or are Americans, because they disagree with the president or the party, they should go back to where their historic roots are. Why is that not racist?
It's not racist because they're anti-American. They've bashed America. They're anti-American.
Wait, Andrew, I understand, but
no,
help me
wait.
help me
I'm
get
trying to explain, but you always stop me.
Okay, go ahead.
But go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to peel you apart, Andrew. The issue here then is they're anti-American or they're un-American. Al is born in America. My family is Scottish. I did not like George Bush. I did not like what he did in Katrina. I remember yelling at the television with what was going on with Brownie, you're doing a good job, while people were dying in the convention center. That did not make me un-American. I was doing my patriotic duty to speak up for those people. And if George Bush, of which he never would have ever said, Al, you're un-American, go back to where you're from, which is Scotland, by the way, that would have been a racist comment. I'm anti-Scottish. I'm anti-black. I'm anti-Latino. My question, Andrew, help us understand what he is talking about. Why
What he's talking
isn't
about
it racist?
when you talk about Tlaib, the night that she was elected, we're going to impeach the motherfucker. What's our first thing is un-American. You should support the president, the Constitution, and quit because Hillary lost. Try
Andrew,
to quit impeaching him.
The Supreme Court would not agree with you right now, and they would not agree because they would say, Andrew, please read the Constitution of the United States. The First Amendment says you have the right to free speech.
That's fine, but it's derogatory toward the country as an elected freshman
They're
congressman.
two different things.
They're not two different things.
They are.
They are calling him out and calling him
Andrew,
racist.
again,
and
the Supreme Court would disagree with you
no,
because
they would
they
not.
would
They
say
would agree with me
the
because
balance.
because
I'm waiting for the because.
but because
you're getting ready to be crushed.
No.
Because.
Go ahead.
Again, I'm crushing you. Because the issue is the Supreme Court would say the overwhelming value of protecting the patriotic America versus your constitutional First Amendment right to free speech outweighs your patriotic value of America. And the
Not
Supreme
true.
Court would probably vote 9-0 that their
5-4.
speech is protected. They would not. Justice Roberts would say, "Are you insane?"
No, he would not.
He would, because there is
Kavanaugh would
no
not.
constitutional protection to say.
But getting back to
being
the original
patriotic
question,
is
Al,
more important than my speech rights.
bring it back.
I'm
he's
listening.
Not, he's not racist at all.
Why?
He is not. It's not a statement.
Why?
He did not say a
A
racist
statement
comment.
of "I'm not a racist" is not a statement.
But and if you go against the Democratic Party and you say the sun
Andrew,
is yellow, and you say no, you're
the
racist.
Republicans' position is crushed.
No.
My free speech rights supersede, as a citizen of America, born in America, my free speech, First Amendment, constitutional rights support and cannot be overwhelmed by go back to where your traditional
And when
roots
you got
are.
and when you got a congresswoman talking about our border as Auschwitz, she needs to watch.
Okay, now we're going into the deep end here, okay? And we're getting off topic. The fact that we're talking about here is if it were going to be based solely on what the Republican Party is saying, that they're unpatriotic, and you're speaking into the Supreme Court saying that we have a freedom of the First Amendment, then technically the President of the United States also has the right to the First Amendment. However, we have a challenge here because he's holding the highest office in the land. And the highest office in the land is to govern all people. And that is all. That's everyone.
All people.
And
That's
to
why
come
he was
out and be
elected
the
by
leader,
63 million
to be
people.
the leader of spewing the hate and the vile, okay?
What hate is he spewing?
You know, he not only is he spewing hate,
what
but
hate is
he's
he
also threatened. He's putting out threats, basically,
What is he
to our
threat-
congresswomen.
He said that he could shoot somebody in the middle of Times Square
And
not
still get elected.
up for it.
And that's true, he would.
So you agree
Okay,
with him?
but what is that? We
that's
cannot
illegal.
allow that. That is an office.
We have to make sure, Andrew, again, we appreciate the ability to even have this conversation because, frankly, you're fighting a battle, and at least in the audience of this show, you're fighting a battle that is
The
very,
truth.
very difficult for you.
Let me say the final. Can I say the final word?
Well, I'll tell you. Let me tell you something before you do that.
All right,
Okay.
there.
I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up as a Baptist Christian. Okay. I'm pretty certain that a lot of Republicans hide behind being Christians. All right. But anyways, I'm convinced that Trump. I'm just. I'm convinced that Trump is the Antichrist, and we're all headed towards the Armageddon.
I think that Facebook.
We're going to give you the last word.
Two quick things, 15 seconds. Facebook is the Antichrist of the First Amendment, and President Trump's numbers have gone from 67% to 72% from Friday to today.
I'm going back on vacation.
Okay. All right. That's our headlines in the news. It's been a big week. And America, I will tell you, I firmly believe this. We're going to show you a vote package that we're talking about in a little bit in the show. I firmly tell you, this week for me is a staggering week. It is a staggering week because I believe in free speech. I believe in Andrew's free speech.
Yeah,
I
me too.
believe in Republicans' free speech. I believe you can say pretty much without yelling fire in the movie theater, you are protected by the First Amendment and the Supreme Court stands there. This week we moved into something completely new.
We can't
and
allow
that's
it.
the scary thing here. But that's the end of our headlines this week. Can we all agree that we're going to lighten this up by playing a game?
Oh,
please.
Yes, let's do it.
Hallelujah.
Oh my God.
Bring out the puppies.
We're going
I'm about to have a heart
play-
attack.
I know.
Aaron needs
I know.
one.
Can I get some whiskey neat?
Yes. We're going to play Shag, Marry, Chop.
Wow.
Everybody knows we play this game. It's fun. It's summertime. By the way, did you know in the next 2 days, July 19th, begins the summer heat. That's what it's called.
What is this now?
The hottest 30 days of the entire year begins in 2 days.
We're not already on
for
that.
30 days.
So I'm not going to be at the next 4 shows, is what it sounds like.
You guys are going to see a lot of skin.
Yes. All
Nude shows for a month.
All right. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop, and let's do it because it's going to be so hot. A summer at the beach edition. Now this makes perfect sense because Shark Week is getting ready to start. And what that means is on Sci-Fi, that Shark Tornado movie series, I've watched every single one of them. They're the craziest, stupidest things ever made, and I love them. I love them. I love them.
Let's get to it.
Let's play Shag, Marry, Chop.
Which
Look
sharks?
at our animation of Shag, Marry, Chop. We are going to the beach. Dwayne Johnson from Baywatch. Jason Statham from the movie The Meg. And Paul Walker into the blue. All right, who wants to play? Shag, Marry, Chop.
Wait, what is the movie? What movie is Jason
It doesn't
Statham
matter.
in?
Which sexy man do you like?
The Meg.
Oh, never mind. I thought you said something else.
All right.
That was a
Who's playing? All right.
Of course, I'll marry Dwayne.
Dwayne.
I will shag Paul, and I'll chop Jason.
All right.
I'm gonna shag Jason. I'm going to definitely marry The Rock, and I'm gonna chop Paul Walker.
My God, we agree.
No,
I'm totally shagging Paul Walker. I'm marrying The Rock. Hello. And sorry, Jason.
you would break Paul Walker.
Oh no, he can't be broken. He's got that ungodly,
I don't know.
back from the afterlife
He
effect.
seems scrappy.
He'd be a lapdog real quick. Real quick.
Okay,
All right,
so
Napoleon.
I think that I would take The Rock's rock. I would shag him. I would marry Paul Walker because he seems like a deer, and also who didn't see his ass in that movie and just like want a piece of it forever. And then Jason Statham, bye-bye. I don't care. Breathe into their...
I think Jason's cute, and I think Paul's cute, but I have to tell you, I do not think Dwayne Johnson is cute at all.
But is he butch and burly and buff?
I don't know.
It's because you're such a racist.
I know.
Is it? I'm a
Too
racist
brown
now?
for you, huh?
I can't imagine what's going to be said about me tomorrow on social media. Amazing. All right, that's our
Probably
game.
true.
Shag, Marry, Chop. We want to bring Happening Now to you. We want to make sure that we keep you up to date in our trending breaking news alerts, and we have a couple of things. Josie raised her hand before the show. You're going to tell us something in Happening Now.
Me. Oh my God, breaking news. So Kevin Spacey, this is why you always have to hold judgment and wait till everyone gets their day in court. Well, breaking news, Kevin Spacey is off the hook. The charges have been dropped against him, and the reason why is because the person who came out and spoke against him was unavailability of the complaining witness. So I guess the witness went AWOL, and there's no one there to
And has there
to
been
prosecute.
any reporting of why he would not continue his charges? Have you heard anything?
He disappeared.
Yeah.
So in other
and the
words,
civil suit was dropped as well last week.
Yeah.
so Spacey's life was just destroyed. He lost his starring role in
know,
House of
my
Cards, and then the
gosh.
guy's like, "I'm sorry, maybe it was some other bitch."
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Terrible.
that's-
Okay, well, that is Happening Now.
Kevin Spacey.
And Andrew, you had everybody prepared. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun.
Yeah. Aaron had some big
As we
news.
all know, Representative Al Green of Texas brought impeachments to the floor, and I'm happy.
Just within the last couple of hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just voted on before we came on. The House voted 332 against, 95 for, to set aside the resolution to impeach President Trump. Again, another waste of time and effort and taxpayer dollars.
So in other words, we voted not to impeach him because
Exactly.
he didn't commit any impeachable acts. Let's be
Exactly.
realistic about it.
He
He didn't do
did not.
anything.
Well, there is big news in this. The big news is
We suck as a
there's
country.
only 95 Democrats in the House, even with significant majority.
Wow.
There's only 95 House members that want to currently impeach the President of the United States.
And
That's
this is a guy
big
that
headline.
every day, this guy is.
Let's vote every day.
Yeah,
impeach.
okay.
It's sort of like Maxine Water. Impeach
All right.
4 to 5. Impeach 4 to 5.
All right,
That's right.
Okay.
I do not. I'm going to have to look. I don't know what Maxine did. The last thing in Happening Now is something that I'm participating in and Napoleon's participating in.
Oh, God.
We fundamentally believe that the election of remember the 3rd of November 2020 is super important. If you haven't seen the movie V for Vendetta, our crack production company at It's Happening Out, our production team, has focused in on a new, first time ever, pro-con debate format. And I'm doing it, and Napoleon is going to be the host.
And
of
you'll
a
get to
new-
hear me do things like this, like keep him quiet just for a moment. Every now
and a new show that's going to launch August Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, August 15th. And
Thursday.
I have quite a legendary opponent that is going to represent and does represent President Trump. So let us show you our first preview of V is for Vote. Watch this.
This is what Remember, the 3rd of November means. The election of our lifetime will be November 3rd, 2020. What was V for Vendetta is now V for Vote 2020. We will bring to you a chance to be part of a unique moment in history. We will be the first real exploration of issues that define the LGBTQ plus community in America. We must participate in the election on the 3rd of November, 2020. Or we will risk a perilous end. Big issues, powerful and controversial voices, a democratic and liberal gay guru that won't allow fake news to shout down his truth.
You are a racist. You are a misogynist. You are discriminatory. You hate people. You divide America. And most of all, for gay America, you do not support our community.
A world-famous Republican and conservative drag queen that made national news in her support of Donald Trump.
Donald hurt my feelings.
Oh my God.
He's got to go. What a joke. He's going to go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest president of our lifetime. Oh, he doesn't like me because I'm gay. He loves you.
Big issues, powerful and controversial voices. America, are you just going to complain, or are you going to be a catalyst for change? Whatever that change looks like, your rights, your life, your future is at stake.
This entire exchange is what Republicans do so well. They take reasonableness. Elaine's questions to me are reasonable, but then they take them to the obscure craziness of the defense of guns.
Hold on. Remember the 3rd of November. V for Vote 2020.
Well, there you have it, America. We are going to begin on Thursday night, August 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm taking on somebody that, quite frankly, has the ability to...
I love my sister Elaine Lancaster.
Yeah, to bring
Well,
it.
let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
And really, I think that the most important thing is,
The dialogue.
this show you guys are introducing is to inspire everyone to get out and vote.
Yes.
Whatever side you sit on, whatever the team you represent, okay? Right now is a crucial time in the history of our country. Everyone needs to get mobilized and get out there and have your voice heard.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, America, the topics are right to the point. Topics like their propositions, debates. Is Pence homophobic? Should Trump be impeached? Many related. Well, what do you think? Should we pass new gun legislation? Elaine suggests that the health care program coming from the Republicans is going to save America, and our debate over that. Many topics. So you're going to see a lot more about this, and it's coming. We're going
When's
to
this
get right
again?
to it. It begins Thursday at 8 p.m., August 15th.
On...
we're going to broadcast it live.
Okay.
It's
like
the only
this show.
place you can see anything like
Flames.
this. All
That's definitely what's
LGBTQ
going to
on all
be.
sides,
Yeah.
every point.
Is it going to be here?
All right, we're going to move on to another game. Let's play another game. You can see in front of us,
Thank God.
there's a whole thing of Living Proud vodka. Josie, the national spokesman for Living Proud. And
Finally.
so we're going to play a game called I'd Swallow That. And it's become my favorite thing in the show.
Because no one ever said I'd swallow that to Al.
Oh, that was quiet.
I love that. I think that was a great read.
All right.
America, respond below. Would
All
you
right.
swallow Al?
All right.
Dial 955.
So we're going to play I'd Swallow That. I'm going to ask 5 questions. If the hosts agree, they pick up their shot of Living Proud vodka and they take a shot.
Live proud. Live
Live
proud.
proud. Sorry.
Yeah.
Live proud. Get the branding right. If they don't touch their shot. Everybody know the rules?
Yep.
America, play at home with us. This is a fun game. Whether you're playing with water or Coke or Live Proud vodka, do that.
We definitely
All right.
should have led with this.
Right.
Go to the website.
All right, so we're ready for question number 1. I'd swallow that. Question 1. I would trade with another letter of the gay alphabet soup, LGBTQ+, because I think it is easier for them.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you looking at me with such a
I'm
pointed tone of
looking
voice?
at
Don't
you.
look at me in that tone of voice.
Would you give everything up as to who you are, Aaron?
No, of course I wouldn't. That's the thing. Like,
You would not.
no.
And you would because you would give up being a lesbian.
Yeah, because you guys have it easy. Come on, you
Yeah.
know it. Y'all are having the most fun. Women were already women. Then on top of that, we're lesbians. Then on top of that, on my case, I'm a woman of color. I mean, we're like, we got too much coming against us.
And you make
know?
73% on the dollar.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So I want to be a man just so that I would. Well, I don't want to really be a man, but I mean,
You
I
want
would-
all the benefits.
Yeah,
All
I would.
right.
I would switch teams
And,
for a
and
moment.
Aaron, you have any comments at all?
No.
No.
I agree with you both.
All right.
I wouldn't want to not be a gay white man.
I've already
either.
got
All
more
right.
male privilege than I ever asked
Yeah,
for.
all right.
So
Very good. All right.
But I will
I'd
sip.
swallow that question number 2. Question number 2. Here we go. My sex drive has always been higher than anyone I've ever had a relationship with. Oh. Oh. Oh, I'm coming to you.
Oh, that makes sense given what you just said.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Is it current or past?
Current.
Ah.
Marcy.
Hey there in the back.
Scene, man.
Marcy
We're
is
sharing
the
the stories on
animal.
TV.
All
That was
right.
tea.
All right. Very good.
And you know she's 10 years younger than me, so she keeps me.
You know, wait, nope. I call bullshit.
Oh.
As the, I'm not the oldest person at the table, but nearly the oldest person.
But you
at the
are,
table.
Blanche. You are, Blanche.
I wouldn't have known.
It has nothing to do with age. It really doesn't.
Well,
I tell my
true.
friends all the time.
True.
I'm lucky. I am lucky. I know that. But it has nothing to do with age.
Well,
so if
it's
you're not,
the drive is healthy.
it's
My
you.
mind is focused on building an empire right now.
I call bullshit
and I don't
again.
really think so like I used to.
Marcy,
Trust.
good for you.
I'm way more effective.
I'd swallow that. Question number 3. I'd swallow that. I think I masturbate more than most people.
Okay.
So now that you're all thinking about it, Al, what is your masturbation routine like?
Oh God, here we go.
Facebook cut us off again. What happened?
Well, America, thank you for joining us at It's Happening Out. We will see you next Wednesday. What is a lot? More than most people. What do you think most people do?
How much do you think that they both do it, or how much do you think that Andrew does?
Well,
'Cause
if
I'll guess.
if
I'm
I
gonna
ever
guess.
have sex again, I live by the rule. I try not to put myself in other people's sex life because then I start to think of their sex life, which is why I never think about you because
That's fair. So
Yeah.
I'm going to play my game then. So I'm
All
going to
right.
guess how many times you guys each week then
All
get
right.
off on your
Okay.
own. I'm going
All
to
right.
say 3,
3 times,
5,
5 times,
2,
2 times,
and 4.
Plus 3.
Plus 3. That's my guess, America. Comment below how many times you think each individual person has their own self-pleasure.
Yeah.
Because for that, I have to know how I gauge myself to it. So there's a lot of steps to this shot.
Good talk.
You're like
Napoleon, what's your-
14.
14.
Like at least twice
You
a
didn't
day.
answer your own question.
I know the answer to my question.
Well,
I can't,
tell us.
I
What
can't-
is your
I can't
answer?
guess. It's probably somewhere around like 11, if that's
See?
not with
I
other
knew
people.
it.
No, a couple, or with other people. One of
with
the
other
other
people. Yeah. Okay. All right. It's
Aaron.
the ultimate safe sex.
Yeah.
First off,
Yeah.
it's the ultimate safe sex.
I don't know.
And
It can be very
Depending what
risky.
you're into.
every medical
Autoerotic
professional,
asphyxiation is like a
every
thing.
medical professional would tell you it's very healthy.
Right.
Very
Rosie,
Like
healthy.
meditation, guys.
Al.
Okay.
Rosie Palm and her 4 sisters.
Yes, exactly. All right. Question number 5. I'd swallow that. Question number 4. I'd swallow that.
Did we pass the part where we drink?
There are things I don't say about my preferences to my friends for fear of sounding racist or un-PC.
Oh, we know that's not you, Al.
That's not
It
me.
is, actually.
There are things that don't come out of your mouth?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is quite a filter to have made it through.
Not to
You know
sound
why?
racist, though.
Wait.
You know, I mean.
No. I'm in a situation.
I'm not
I
racist,
have to
so.
say this to you. I'll answer this question honestly. I am constantly faced with Caswell's video and Caswell's comments hit a bullseye for me. They hit a bullseye for me because his message was aimed directly at me. There's thousands of me around America, but it was directed exactly at me. And what his call out was, Al, you are a privileged white guy. If you do not constantly put yourself in a position of understanding the needs of the other letters in our community, you're kind of a traitor to the gay community. That's what Caswell was telling me. And his video, and especially his words, we asked him to tell us some things about the video. He hit me right between the eyes. Caswell, I know you're still watching. I want to tell you, man, did you do a good job, because you hit me right between the eyes. And I am constantly faced with trying to downplay my white gay privilege. It's different than all of you at the table.
It sure is.
It took you hearing it from a
I
hot
believe
young
that during
white dude.
one of these, I'd swallow that. I said I'd like be in your shoes because I just want to experience that for one day. You know that white privilege is like it's.
Wait,
woo,
you know
and
what?
sometimes it's a lot. You know
Wait.
what I mean?
without going too deep, your observation makes me very sad. And the reason Josie's observation makes me very sad is I breathe what I just said because I know it's a fact. Even with all of the troubles that I've gone through in my life, and I've gone through lots and lots of challenging things, at the end of the day, I have a white privilege, being where I sit, who I know, what I do, where I go, who I interact with, and it makes me sad, honestly, that somebody like you that sits next to me, who I know is incredibly spectacular, sits there and goes, I wish to have a day like you have. I hate that.
Well, you shouldn't. You
that.
should be honored by it because you know why? I could choose a lot of people's shoes to
You
step
misunderstand.
into. And I should step into yours. No, maybe you misunderstand.
Maybe, but the reason I say that is not that I'm not proud of who and what I am. I just wish I could do more to help pull you up with me.
We're working on it, man.
Yeah.
We're working
Exactly.
on
So
it.
you're aware.
you
So
know?
thanks to the pretty white boy, you are aware of your privilege, and you're going to help the colored
Listen,
lesbian friend
allies,
back up
guys.
to you.
That's what this
All
life
right.
is
All right.
about.
Let's not
Back
go
to
too deep.
race.
Okay.
We never left.
I'd swallow
Like I
that.
have more soul than you, okay? I have some things
Yes.
that you don't
That's
have.
true,
You know
America.
what I
sold-
mean?
That-
She got
that
rid
is-
of
True, very
That
true.
is only because I sold mine about 20 years ago. All right,
I miss
question
you,
number
Power.
5. Last question. I'd swallow that. Question number 5. I'd swallow that. I think under the right circumstances, everyone is a bit gay.
Yeah, girl. That was my 90s.
$20 is $20.
Really? You think that? Do you?
Yeah. Duh.
Now, and you don't think that?
Well, that's not
or
common
you're still
knowledge?
deciding?
I'm deciding. Here's the thing: if anyone can be gay in certain circumstances, then also anyone can be straight in certain circumstances. That only goes both
Okay.
ways.
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people on the spectrum have felt that they needed to be straight at times.
And you hit the
I'll take it.
nail on the head with that one word, spectrum. And that's exactly it. Because if we it's a lot to understand and grapple with, I know. But if we look at the fact that there is really no black and white when it comes to gender, when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to just kind of human connections, there's always wiggle room. Okay,
Yeah.
spaghetti is straight until you heat it up, right? So there's always going to be those little kind of technicalities that say that, yeah, well, maybe this one's a little bit not so straight and narrow as we tend to define it.
Does everybody agree with that?
College.
I had a friend when I was younger. I can't wait till I get to college so I can experiment and you watch her
Frank,
face
we're
get
getting
all
ready to
contorted
do
in excitement
Jet.
and
Frank,
physical pleasure.
Jet. We're getting ready to do Jet next. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I had a friend in high school who was looking forward to college so much. She would say, "Oh my God, I can't wait till we go to college and we get to experiment." It's like, if you're that interested, just do it now. We're in an art school.
Can I profit a disagreement to observation? I have many. I know all of y'all do too. I have many straight friends. One of the aggravations that I have with our community is this, especially among gay men, that there's this attitude that everyone would like to be gay at some point, whether it's for 5 minutes or whatever. And I disagree with that vehemently. And the reason I do is I have so many straight friends that are uncomfortable with that attitude that you could be gay, we could have casual sex, and you would love to have casual sex. And as a result, I have straight friends that are uncomfortable with that because they go, why would you make the assumption that I like to have a sexual experience that's gay? I have many friends that feel that way. And then they frequently, when I make this observation, get shamed by my gay friends of going...
Into being gay?
That you would like to do that. And I don't know how to find the balance of going, wait, they really are straight.
Well, it's funny because that reminds me a lot of what it's like to be a woman and to have those unsolicited, unwanted advances on you constantly, every day. Gay men or straight men get super uncomfortable. This goes back to the Waka Flocka thing earlier. Straight men get so super uncomfortable with the idea of men objectifying them the same way that they do to women. And that's where the disconnect, I think, tends to come in when we talk about gay men, because they don't really process that part of the equation, I think, for obvious reasons. But, end of the day, if you're pressuring anybody into doing something they don't want to do, come on, we're grown-ups here. You know what I mean? Let's get past this part of the
I'm going to
conversation.
say gay men, especially in this town, definitely feel it if somebody just puts the hand down there or hits a little bit too hard.
Oh, come on now. That's a whole totally different thing. When I went out here in Wilton Manors, just going out into the gay community and realizing how aggressive gay men are with each other. I don't know if it's aggressive or forward, whatever your perspective is, but anyways,
depends on the
it's very
consent.
clear. And
assault,
and then when
is
I
what it
bring
is.
my straight friends into Wilton Manors, and listen, Bubbles and Pearls, we are very proud to host a lot of our straight allies here every single night.
Let me tell you a quick story. Yesterday we were in the production center, and
15 seconds.
Our creative director and our director of the show, both gay, Frank and Steve. We had a fourth person in addition to me, and we wanted to go for happy hour. Where can we go for happy hour? He is straight. I won't mention his name. We suggested a gay bar here on Wilton Drive, and he kind of pushed away from that. And ultimately, as we peeled the onion, why don't you want to go and do that? It's because I'm straight. And if I walk into that gay bar, he's an attractive, in his 20s, straight guy, I feel like it's going to be inappropriate what happens.
Well, if he was that straight and secure with himself, he shouldn't have felt intimidated.
He's completely secure.
You just don't want to make other people feel badly.
His point was, I don't think that the gay guys in the room will treat me with the respect that I expect from them.
Well, I think it comes back to what Aaron is saying about just being objectified and as a human being, and in this,
It's a really good observation.
and whether you're a man or you're a woman, if someone makes an advance at you or to you, it's still an advance, and if it's unwanted, it's still unwanted, regardless of whether or not we're gay, we're straight.
Right,
who
and
cares?
if you continue to pressure it after a person says, "Hey, that's unwanted," that's where we come into an issue. And it's ironic to me too that that's the exact reason that a lot of straight women do come to gay establishments and gay venues and gay clubs, because straight women feel like, I'm not going to be so aggressively, attacked. I'm not going to be like prey.
Right.
And that's why they come to gay spaces as their own safe spaces.
If I can make one final point to this conversation, it's one of the things, and I say this in complete sincerity, it's one of the things that I'm really proud of and happy of my participation in this show, because I have for a lifetime had a privileged white gay experience. Privileged. And I have learned so much. When you make that observation, it instantly resonates with me. I understand that. Trans issues, I understand that. Lesbian issues, I understand that. Black issues, I understand that. Straight issues, I understand that. But this show has allowed me to understand it better than ever I could do before, because I was in a petri dish that was completely dominated by white gay privilege.
And that is the privilege, being able to just exist. And now, and I see you getting all hot under the collar over there. Let's back away from thinking that the word privilege means that somehow your life was perfect,
right.
or means that you're a bad person.
That was my
It just
question
means
to Al.
that you have had in your life, you've been able to walk through the world and navigate through the world in ways in which you don't have these things affront you. You don't have these things come at you. Okay, it's like Chinese water torture, the drip, the drip, the drip, the drip. You don't have to deal with that, so therefore you can just kind of be. That's a privilege.
That's a bullseye. I walk through life not having to experience what I hear y'all experience.
And sometimes just getting away with a lot more. I know personally, I would probably be in jail if I weren't white. That is because of white privilege. The things I've gotten away with are because people will look away due to how I am.
Last 10 seconds.
Define privilege, because I'm
honey.
really having a hard time.
Next week on It's Happening Out.
Privilege. I think Aaron's definition is correct. Privilege means that I could walk through. It's not money. It's not status. It's not anything other than I basically do not have to worry. A privilege is I don't worry about that. I might not get everything I want.
You might not even be conscious of it. It's not even in
not.
your awareness.
With the word privilege, and I'm just going to use him out of the, like Anderson Cooper, he came from privilege, even though he worked his ass off.
Yes.
But when I think of privilege, I think of the
It's
Rockefeller.
not just
Well,
a
stop
financial
thinking that.
issue.
Stop thinking that.
No, but-
We've got to divorce ourselves from that thinking. We have to. I've got privilege. I am a transgender, non-binary person of color who is poor, who has been homeless, who has been a sex worker. I have privilege. We all walk through this world in different scenarios. There are scenarios where Josie and I will walk into the same place and she will have privilege, and then we can walk into a different room of the same venue, hi Ramrod, and I will have privilege. Okay? That is a thing. We gotta stop with the oppression Olympics. We gotta stop with that, and we gotta be willing to say, whoa, hold up. Maybe there's some situations where I'm not always right. Maybe there are some situations where I do maybe have the upper hand, and maybe I could use that to help some people out instead of constantly using it to step on other people.
And I think I totally agree with you 100%. I just don't like the
10
word
seconds.
privilege. I think
Well, you don't have to like it.
All
We
right.
can, you
All
know.
right. I love the
Still
last
it.
3 minutes because for me, my commitment to It's Happening Out and the production of this show has just been proven. This is exactly the conversations we need in the gay community. So with that, I'm going to tell you, America, that's our show tonight. We hope you tune in next Wednesday at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for America's most popular live gay talk show. I have to tell you, we have things that we were going to talk about that we completely ran out of time for.
Yeah.
Because these bitches, oh wait, maybe this bitch also talked too much tonight, but it's been a great show. As we always do, we end our show with the opportunity of everyone saying goodnight, and I'm going to start with Andrew.
Good night, Gracie. Thank
Good night,
you.
Gracie. All right. And Napoleon, please.
Good night, all of you reptiles out there. Maybe we'll hear a little bit more of that story. We can hear McNamara laughing in the back.
I'm sorry. I think I'm liking that pizza delivery man.
Good night to the common sense in the world. I know you're there.
We got to
Maybe.
find it still. All right.
Right.
But and Aaron Phoenix.
Good night, gender fuckers.
And we say hello to Power Infiniti, our friend.
Power.
Power.
I miss you, bitch.
Wait, everybody look at the camera and go, wow, what a week Power decided to go on vacation.
The racist
The
week.
wrong week, bitch.
And to our friend Joe Brookman, who is
Hi, Uncle
diabolically planning whatever he's planning up in Washington,
He'll
D.C.
come back as the czar of DC.
America, we constantly tell you, It's Happening Out is a fundamental desire to be able to put gay culture and gay community in front of you. And as we end the show, we start with empanadas, we end with Jet's Pizza. And we're here tonight. And Mark McNamara
Privileged
from men.com. Is right over here. So apparently men.com fired you, and now you're a pizza delivery boy? You got to do what you got to do. Or are you scouting a new adult gay entertainment film? Whatever privilege. All right.
I got privilege for you.
All right, somebody open that pizza
too.
for me.
Let's open it.
And let's take
Open
a
this
quick look.
lovely, lovely pizza.
As we look at Jets, and we're going to have Jets pizza and some more
Meat
empanadas.
privilege all over that pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
Privilege.
you're in my shot, sir. You're in my shot.
Is everyone like it right here?
All right. America, we constantly are trying to bring you what's going on in gay culture and gay community. We hope we're doing that. I think we're doing it. We make the joke now.
Yeah.
Week
Doing
1,
something.
we're getting ready to plan our 1-year anniversary show. September 18, 69 people watch that show. Does that joke make sense to you? 69. Last week, 480,000 of you watched the show. Thank you very much. Remember, if it's important to you, it's important to us at It's Happening Out, and we hope to see you next week, 8 p.m. At same time, same bat channel.
Out.
Good night, America.
Good night.